Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Yeah, we did. That is right. Welcome back to a Monday edition of the Nightly Morning Show here on twitch.tv/nerdynightly. If you're watching this on our YouTube or listening to the podcast feed, you can catch this show live on Twitch at twitch.tv/nerdynightly. I already said that once, but again for posterity, always be plugin, ABP.
That's a new one. All right.
This is the 96th edition of the Nightly Morning Show.
Wow.
I know, we've done a lot of these.
Uh-huh.
We've done a few of these.
Yeah, just a couple.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Doing well. Yeah, it's disgusting outside, but I feel alright.
Yeah.
Like
it's
I'm
just snowing. It's not like...
Well, it's gray and I don't know, the windows are wet. So
yeah, I'm a little worried it's going to be slushy.
Yeah, I'm not excited for that because we need groceries.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I'm here. We're doing the thing. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm also doing the thing.
Yes, you are.
I had a good weekend. I was doing my Beedrill run on my Twitch stream. Pokemon Fire Red with nothing but one Beedrill named Pikachu. She's a god. That Pokemon is... I found the greatest Beedrill of all time, and we are crushing it. We got 4 badges yesterday. Tuesday night we're gonna get the last 2. We're gonna beat the Elite Four. I'm very excited.
I cannot believe you're gonna beat the Elite Four with a Beedrill.
I know. I didn't know if it was gonna be possible, but now I'm starting to feel like it is.
Yeah, you were like, we're probably not gonna get there, and I was like, yeah. So
yeah.
I'm excited to see where this goes. So
yeah, me
come
too.
back tomorrow for that.
Come back tomorrow night for that. That's going to be 5 o'clock Eastern. But before then, we have to talk about the news. And we have a lot of news to talk about today, which is exciting. Mm-hmm. But I want to start with our title story, which is that Sasha Cale, I think, or Cale, C-A-L-L-E. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. But she has been cast in the movie The Flash, which is just begun production, and she's going to be playing Supergirl.
Cool.
Kara Zor-El from the comics, who has obviously been played for the last 6 years? 7? I can't remember how many years Supergirl's been on her. Which is weird because I watch that show, but I should know what season I'm watching. I think 5. I think they've had 5 seasons, and then season 6 is going to be the last one, and that will be, yes, because they're 2 seasons behind The Flash. That makes sense. Supergirl has been played by Melissa Benoist on television for 5 seasons, soon to be 6. And it looks like Sasha Cale, or I don't know how to pronounce her last name, will be taking over the role for the big screen edition, premiering in the Flash movie, which is an interesting place for Supergirl to premiere, since the TV versions of Flash and Supergirl have been so intertwined.
Yeah.
And Grant Gustin's Barry Allen and Melissa Benoist's Kara have had such a beautiful relationship in the television shows. They've been kind of one of my favorite of the superhero pairings in that. And so it is interesting to see them give this version of the Flash the introduction of Supergirl instead of a Man of Steel 2. Warner Brothers? Man of Steel 2?
Hello.
Give my boy Henry Cavill a movie.
That would be nice.
This is also notable because Sasha will be the first live-action Latina to play the role.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
A person of color will be taking over the role. And I'm excited. It is interesting. She doesn't have a lot of credits.
I don't recognize the name or the face.
She's mostly known for being on The Young and the Restless. The soap opera that apparently is still going.
Wait, what?
Yeah, her filmography says 2018 to present, The Young and the Restless, which means that The Young and the Restless is still going?
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it's interesting, right? Because her Wikipedia page has one thing on it. This is her whole Wikipedia page.
Right.
Yeah,
she's brand new.
Yeah, she was born in Boston. She's of Colombian descent. She has a younger brother. She and her mother moved to Colombia. Like, there is nothing for them to talk about here. So this is like as new as a person can get.
Yeah, that's a wow. What an opportunity.
Yeah, truly.
Could you imagine being she's probably very excited about this.
She must have nailed her audition.
Yeah, she must have walked in and done they were like, yes, that's it.
Because the director, Andy Muschietti, who's directing The Flash, said that they saw over 400 people for this role.
Wow.
And when you think about it, like, this girl has no clout, right?
Yeah.
She has no bargaining power in this situation. And I think she must have just walked in and blown them away.
Crushed it.
And I really
love that.
Yeah, I'm excited for her. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
You know, The Flash, we have feelings about certain aspects of this movie.
Yeah.
The way that Ray Fisher's being treated is difficult, to say the least.
Yeah.
And Ezra Miller is Ezra Miller at this point to me. But, you know, I'm excited for this girl, and I hope that this is the start of a really beautiful career for her. And that she nails it, because I love this character.
Yeah.
Supergirl is one of my favorite DC characters.
She definitely has a very sweet look.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like wholesome vibe, which you know, I think Melissa Benoist was great casting, because she's just got such a nice smile and like a warm personality.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, like, is when I think of Supergirl, it just kind of fits. And this actress looks like she has kind of a similar vibe. Obviously, I don't know her. I'm just inferring from like her headshot. But I'm excited for this. I really love that they're giving such a big opportunity to someone who's pretty much new.
Yeah, I think that probably was their goal. I think they probably were looking for someone new. I really hope we get to see this girl interact with Henry Cavill. I want to see Superman and Supergirl interact with each other. I love their relationship in the comics. And I also, you know, I hope that we get to see her play Kara outside of being Supergirl as well. Because that's what Melissa Benoist got to do a lot, and what she does really well is that she's really adorkable, as they say.
Yeah.
As Kara when she's working in her day job.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to take these, especially super powered characters like Superman, Supergirl, and give them real lives outside of their powers. And so I hope The Flash has some scenes for her to do as Kara, as a more grounded person.
Totally.
But because this is, like, you know, she's Supergirl in The Flash, she might just come in as the super person that's needed in a moment of super heroics.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for Sasha. Congrats, girl. You crushed it.
Yeah.
You done crushed it.
I'd love to see that audition tape.
Right.
You know.
I love when they release audition tapes.
Oh, it's great.
All the MCU audition tapes I've seen, Tom Holland's audition tape, if you've never watched it, you see it and you're like, oh, I get why he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He did like a camera test with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And you're watching them interact and you're like, yeah, I get it.
There it is.
I would have greenlit this too.
Yeah. I love that.
All right. In other news, because there's so much news to get through today. But
we're gonna power through it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk through it. We're not gonna power through it. Okay, Soulja Boy. Up in that.
Oh, why we crank it?
Why we crank? I don't remember the lyrics.
Why
Superman.
we crank that Soulja Boy? Superman.
Yeah. Soulja Boy is selling game consoles.
Is he a PS5 scalper?
No. Soulja Boy is not selling other people's game consoles. Soulja Boy is selling his own game consoles. The new console called Soulja Game, I believe, is the title of, or that's the Twitter account for it.
Soulja Game.
Yeah, it's the Soulja Game console. It's a video game console that you can buy. This is coming after his failed console in 2018 that had to be pulled off shelves.
Wait, pulled off shelves?
Yeah. He failed. He had a failed attempt to sell a video game console in 2018, and so this is his second attempt at selling a video game console. What? They're building a brand new console from scratch, all new design, all new games, all new deals. Let's make history is the tweet, and it looks like.
It looks like a PS4.
It looks like a PS4 and an Xbox Series S had a baby, and they're using a PS2 controller.
Yeah, that about sums it
I
up.
don't here. Maybe I can show this enough.
Yeah, they can probably.
That's
see that.
that's the photo they used.
It's a terrible photo to sell your console.
It looks like a PS2 controller, right?
The controller is in focus, but you can't really tell what's underneath of it. It looks like a...
Sex Monkey in the chat says, you can play Dark Souls 3 on it. That's very funny.
I love that. That's a game that I definitely want to play.
Dark Dispatch wants to know, but does it keep chicken warm? I feel like that's the new standard.
It doesn't look like it's going to have that feature, unfortunately. Definitely Soulja Boy missed out on some great console features, I think.
Yeah. Apparently the last one went off the shelves because there was a chance that Nintendo was going to sue over the last Soulja game console.
Oh, it had unofficial releases of Nintendo games.
Oh, okay. Taters is coming in with those sweet facts.
Thank you.
Lego Soulja Wars: The Complete Saga. Here's the thing. You know what it actually looks like to me? It looks like one of those mini NES consoles they put out now that have like all the games preloaded onto them.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is hilarious.
I was gonna say it looks like a computer scanner. But...
Why do people want to make their own consoles? I don't get it. Like, the KFC console makes sense to me, right? It's just a computer. It's just a pre-built computer. It's a gimmick. With a chicken warmer. Whatever. I want to buy one because just to own it. Because in 50 years,
say you did.
No, because that's my retirement. In 50 years, that thing will be worth. If it still runs, that thing will be worth millions of dollars.
Depends on how many they sell, to be honest.
I feel like Soulja Boy needs to go look at the fact that Google just stopped making first-party games because it's too crazy and expensive. Yeah. Google did that. Yeah. You're not going to be able to come up with first-party games for your system.
No.
You can't compete.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is here.
And, like, I shouldn't say that, right? Because competition is good for the market. And, like, maybe another console would be great for the market.
Maybe.
But I just
don't see a way that this pans out.
We kind of have a 3-console market. And I don't think that that's going to expand anytime soon. Because everyone who tries...
Well, yeah, you need a big 4th player like Google, but Google has even dropped out. So, like, at that point, like, I don't even know who...
Well, Google isn't interested in making a console, right? Like, they wanted to make a streaming video game platform. And they're still making that. Stadia still exists. It just won't have first-party games.
Right.
But, like, you can't really compete with Nintendo... You can't compete with Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. Yeah. For that space. Yeah. Because, and here's the other thing, and this is just the reality of the world we live in. Nobody wants new games. I hate to say it, but, like, nobody wants new characters. Yeah. And you see that because new games really struggle. New IPs really struggle. Things like Valheim work, but setting up a new IP is really, really hard. You need the built-in IP. Nintendo is still selling Wii U games. You know what I mean? That's why Skyward Sword's coming out.
Still makes Mario.
Halo, the biggest disappointment of the new Halo console is that... Or, the new Halo console. That's my point. The new Xbox console is that the Halo game for it isn't out yet. Yeah. The new Fable game isn't out yet. The PlayStation 5 is waiting for the new Ratchet & Clank game. But, like, how many new IPs are actually coming out right now that do really well? Yeah. It's not a lot. It is tough to build new IPs. So the idea of putting out a console that not only is a new console that you have to convince people is going to work and whatnot. Yeah. There are also going to be the problem of all of your IP is going to be first party. And all of your IP is going to be new IP that no one has any built-in relationship to. Yeah. And maybe you could get people in with, like, maybe you buy the rights to, like, Narnia and you make the Narnia games or something like that. But you would essentially have to buy an IP to get started, because I hate to say it, but, like, gamers, and I say this as one of them, we like the familiar. There's a reason I've been buying Pokemon games for 24 years. Yep, it's because we know how they work and we're looking forward to the next iteration. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. I think that there's a lot of reasons why this is a bad idea, but gamer culture is one of the reasons why this is a bad idea.
Yeah. You know what, Soulja Boy? I wish you the best of luck. Because, you know, if this turns out to be something really cool, then awesome. But I am not going to hold my breath.
If it's cool, I'll buy it, Soulja Boy. I know what I just said was negative, but if it's cool, I promise you I will buy one. If it's available, and it's not, like, crazy expensive. If it's priced like a console, like a normal console, I will buy one.
Oh.
If it's like $2,000, I'm not going to buy one. But if it's like $400, yeah, I'll buy it.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't coming out. I wouldn't worry.
Yeah, where I don't think we're gonna...
Actually, it might release, and I'll be one of the people who owns one, because I just made that promise on the internet.
Well, that's the thing.
I'll make it a biddy goal.
In that case,
My community
you have to get it right away, in case it gets pulled off the shelves again, and then you have a collector's item.
Right. Soulja Boy, I will buy your console if it is under $400.
Okay.
Under $500. Yeah. Oh, please, we'll be fine.
Yep.
In other gaming news, Valheim. You heard of Valheim? Have you guys heard of Valheim?
No, who's she?
Valheim is arguably the most successful survival game ever on Steam, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Although I don't think that's true, because I don't know if Minecraft's on Steam. Minecraft is not on Steam, right? That's why this is true. In that it has achieved a record high for the most concurrent players at once for any survival game.
Wait, is Minecraft a survival game?
Minecraft and Valheim are essentially the same thing, with just a different look. The mining, the building, it's very similar.
Okay.
From what my chat tells me, I've never played Minecraft.
Fair enough.
But my chat has been like, yes, this is basically just like Viking Minecraft.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'm super into it, which makes me think I might try Minecraft. But Valheim has now passed Terraria's all-time high of concurrent players with 502,000 concurrent players in Valheim.
Woo!
That peak happened on February 21st. This is a record high for any survival game on Steam. It was, at the time it hit that, it was the second most played game on Steam, just behind Counter-Strike Global Offensive. How many people are still playing Counter-Strike? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's fine. Counter-Strike's fine, but I don't understand the hype for that one. To this day. When it came out, amazing. I played a lot of it, but like, there's new things. I don't know. Mm-hmm. This is my point. Gamers never move on. Gamers still just want to play Ocarina of Time, is the truth. This means Valheim now has the 5th highest peak concurrent players of any game on Steam ever, behind PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, and Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, I did not expect Cyberpunk to be on there.
Yeah, when it first launched, it was like, everywhere, and now it's nowhere. No one's playing it anymore.
Everyone's over it.
It's also only $30 for PS4 if you want it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they're selling it super cheap for PS4 and Xbox One. You can get it like super cheap for the consoles, but it still doesn't. It's on the verge of working. I hear by the end of February, you might be Gucci, but yeah. If you want a $30 game, go pick up the brand new game, Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, but Valheim is big, y'all. 500,000 concurrent players is wild.
I really want to play this.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, you and Scary... Well, Scary's got a game going on that you're a part of, and, like, I want in.
I want to start my own game, though, because I'm kind of tired of waiting for Scary to open the server up for me.
We'll start our own game.
Scary Daydream.
We'll start our own. That's, like, always just open and running on the laptop, in case for people to pop in and out of.
No, that laptop would light on fire.
Yeah.
That laptop would literally... I'm not even sure the laptop can run it. Yeah, we're gonna have to test it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for Valheim. This is really cool for an early access game to be doing this well.
Yeah.
It's not even like actually
released
yet. It's not even
officially out, which is
But it's like Phasmophobia, right? It's like this thing where you like you put it out in early release and then you sell so many copies that you're never actually gonna have a release. You're just gonna have patches.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like at this point, if you released if this game were to release tomorrow, its release sales numbers would be terrible.
Yeah.
Because everybody owns it.
Yeah, everyone already has it.
In some fun Disney Plus television news, Anthony Mackie has revealed that they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
I have a feeling that this is going to be budgeted like a Marvel movie. I'm assuming this is in like the 150 to 200 million range for 8 to 10 episodes.
Yeah, well, and watching the trailer, I believe it.
Yeah, which I think is similar to Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian, they spent $10 million an episode. I believe. Don't quote me on that because I might be wrong. But yeah, it does look like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to live up to its price tag. Because that trailer looked real good.
Yeah, that's the thing. He says that, and I'm like, yeah, I believe it. The trailer, like, all the action sequences, the costumes, it looks expensive.
Mm-hmm. It definitely looks expensive.
Yeah.
But it also looks really, really good.
Yeah, it does.
But we have 2 episodes of WandaVision before that, so...
I know. WandaVision is so good.
In other Disney Plus news, The Muppet Show has dropped on Disney Plus, the original Muppet Show. But 18 episodes of that show do come with a disclaimer at the top. The disclaimer reads like this. This program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of peoples or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together. One of the examples of this is that during an episode featuring Johnny Cash, he sang in front of a Confederate flag on the show back in the day. The people understandably would have a problem with that, and I think that Disney, I don't know, I feel like they're doing the right thing here.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are of the mindset to remove it, get rid of it, burn it, and never talk about it again. But I think personally that is the wrong thing to do, because this sets an example for people who and people younger or even people our age of like they are publicly acknowledging that this is not okay. And I think that that's a big deal. And then to be able to see, to be able to see why and, move on from it and become better from it, I am a huge advocate for that.
I think it comes, I think there's a line, right? I think that there's a certain amount of content that, you need to put a disclaimer on, but should still exist. I think the Muppet Show is it's a kid's show. It's pretty safe. There's just stuff in it that is inappropriate. I think that but there is a line, right? I don't think Song of the South should be readily available. I think that there should be access to it if you want to use it as an educational tool. I think that it is important that we acknowledge the racist depictions in Song of the South from a historical context. Yeah. And I think that there is a way to use that movie as a lesson, but I don't think that it should exist on Disney Plus. The Muppet Show I don't think is the same thing.
Yeah, it's very different. The Muppet Show is definitely more distasteful than outright blatant
it's more it's more it rides the line more than it crosses it.
Yeah, for sure. And Rockmage is saying, removing a statue is different from playing an episode in chat like that in situations like this. And I want to be very clear that that this kind of thing is not commemorating or glorifying anything, whereas a statue is. That's what its sole purpose is. And things like that, I think, need to be revisited. Obviously, I am in support of removing landmarks that are historically racist in nature and context.
But this is where the Disney conversation gets a little difficult for me, because the one Disney movie that I always have the hardest time with is Pocahontas. Because there are other depictions. There are depictions in Disney movies that aren't great. 100%. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm not going to fight that fight, But Pocahontas is the one that is supposedly a true story and very much misrepresents real people. Yeah. Hercules, it's fake. Tarzan, it's fake. And look, there's problematic depictions of stereotypes and whatnot in Tarzan. I totally agree. But the movie, it's not real. Whereas Pocahontas is a fiction about fiction. Yeah. And is a fiction on reality. And I don't know, that one is really difficult for me just because I can't watch it now. And I love the music in Pocahontas, and I I think it's a beautifully rendered. The art is gorgeous, but
for sure,
it is very much a lie, and yeah, I just can't. That is the one. I wish that one would be taken down. I don't think that one should be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is, like, I think you explained it pretty well. It's tricky for reasons that I don't think things in the Muppets are tricky. And so I think that putting the disclaimer before the episodes is definitely... I think that was the right move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they need to be taken down. I think that acknowledging what it was and that it was not okay is super important. But... Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pocahontas is a tough one. I
can't watch it. It really is. Once you know, because when I grew up, I was like, oh, Pocahontas was this like the true story behind it. Once you learn the true story, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Disney, what happened?
Yeah.
How did we get here from what actually happened?
Yeah.
It's like not even close. And look, if it would still be problematic if it wasn't a real person, but it is a movie that is the most famous retelling of a real person's story, and it's so drastically imagines her in a way that is so untrue.
Yeah.
And there's kids like me who grew up thinking that that's just like, oh, this is the truth, and like, I'm glad I learned something today.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I'm like, hi, that messed me up. Like, I should not have learned that story that way.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
It's just, Pocahontas is trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a disclaimer on it, because I know there's a disclaimer on some other content. I know HBO Max recently put disclaimers on their Looney Tunes content, but left those up, even though Looney Tunes has racist stuff in it. Looney Tunes racism is wild.
Yeah. Well, because Looney Tunes is old. And you could get away with anything back then and call it entertainment.
But it's still a kid's show, and I'm like, jeez. There's an episode of Looney Tunes where Bugs Bunny is at war with Native Americans, and is like picking off Native Americans with a gun, and you're like, why is this in a children's show?
Yeah.
What even if at the time America was that backwards, and which it was, let's just be honest. But why is this in a kids show?
Yeah.
Like, who possibly thought this was okay?
It's to condition people. And back then, cartoon, like, things that were meant for kids, that was their purpose, was to gently condition people to keep the pecking order of things, which is terrifying.
It's just messed up. Rockmage recently watched the Karma Chameleon, and there are a dozen people in blackface in the video. Really? I've never seen that music video.
I've never seen it either.
I also don't know that I would. I don't like that song.
Is that the Kama?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. Like, the chorus is funny one time, but listening to that full song would just be for someone who isn't me.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
I saw Pocahontas one time when I was a kid, and even like, I know enough about it to know that that's a big yikes.
I also think that this is partially just because, like, Canada has its issues for sure with its relationship with its First Nations people. I don't want to say that we don't. We do.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I grew up across the street from a reservation, and a lot of the kids that I grew up with in my elementary school were First Nations.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like there was I grew up with more of a respect for that, and I just care about that. And I think it's tough because I think a lot of people are raised never being asked to care for people who don't look like them.
Yes.
And I think that empathy is hard to learn as an adult. And I think that's what we're realizing, right? I think that we're seeing a lot of people who are finding it hard in our modern time to learn the empathy as an adult for people who don't look like them, that they just never learned as kids because it wasn't in the culture then.
Yeah.
And it makes me hopeful for the next generation, right? I feel like the generations behind us are being raised with more multicultural ideas at a younger age, and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it won't be such a drag to get people to just care about other people.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like we grew up in Calgary, Alberta, and you definitely had a very different experience than I did regarding like First Nations people in the city.
Really?
Yeah. There was maybe one in my school, like maybe one or two. And my only other interactions were people on the street. And it was...
Well, and performers we worked with. We worked with a lot of First Nations performers in Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, but I never talked to the, like, outside of the Young Canadians group.
Really? You never hung out with Dallas?
No,
you missed out.
I know. And I know that, but, like, I was, like... I don't know. When I had my circle of friends, I didn't really, like, go outside of it at Young Canadians, but, like... Yeah. But, like, But the Alberta mindset... for a lot of people is kind of gross. And I'm super glad, like, I say this a lot, but I'm super glad that I moved out of Calgary to Toronto because having the like perspectives open up for you, it helped me grow up a lot. For sure. And I'm super grateful for it, but even like when we go back and like visit home, or when I have like friends on Facebook who talk about, well, not like friends, but like, you see someone who's a friend of a friend comment on a post and blah, blah, blah. And Alberta is still super problematic when it comes to how their relationship with the First Nations people.
Yeah. Sex Monkey, I have been to a powwow.
I'm not.
In high school.
Cool.
I went with some friends.
Actually,
I was invited.
Sorry, I lied. Shantika. Did you know Shantika?
I did know Shantika,
yeah. Yeah, she one time she performed like a hoop dance for us. Because she did that, and that was so cool.
Well, we used to perform with a performer named Dallas.
Yeah, I know who he was, but I never like met him because I was like 15 and like it was like.
Dallas is like a world-renowned hoop dancer.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And it's what he does is amazing, and we would just like we would have these long rehearsals where he would just be like entertain. We would sit in a circle around him, and he would just dance, and like he was because he was like 30-ish, and we're all like 15 to 19, just in awe of what he could do. And when you're a performer and you have like an audience who is like on the edge of their seat for you, it's really fun. And he had that with us, and he was a cool dude, and like I love performing with him. He was unbelievable. His hoop dancing is
unreal.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
You can watch it on YouTube in the shows that we performed in because he.
Yeah, I might post that in the Discord. I'm gonna share some of that because I love him.
Yeah. And
he's just he's so funny. Good times. But yeah, no. I grew up. I grew up. My grades 6 and 7. My high school was literally across the street from a First Nations reservation.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the kids I went to school with those 2 years. And my brothers continued in those schools, so I just was around that a lot.
Yeah. Totally.
And yeah, I don't know. It's weird. The world's a weird place.
Yeah.
Current topic. The Muppets come to Disney Plus.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
The places we go. But y'all, it is Monday. We're coming to the end of our Monday show, which means it's time to talk about one thing and one thing only. Do you know what that is? The Croods 2. Y'all, we've been following this movie every Monday because the story of The Croods 2 is hilarious. It is now, I think, 14 weeks in release, and The Croods: A New Age is #1 at the box office yet again. Cheers to the Croods. That. They managed to pull in another $1.7 million. And we are the Croods 2 crew, Hardcore Soft Popcorn. You are right. We are the Croods 2 crew. They've only lost 18.3% this week. So that not a big drop. And they are $500,000 ahead of The Little Things, which is in #2.
Wow.
I looked it up.
They had a big drop.
So currently Tenet is sitting at $57.8 million.
Okay.
Croods 2 is now at $50.8 million. So Croods 2 needs to get $7 million more dollars. And you know what?
I think they can do it.
I think it's going to happen.
I think they can do it.
I have faith.
They've been pretty steady.
Like,
they haven't had a huge drop off.
And nothing else is... Here's the thing. Nothing else is coming out in theaters until... Well, next week. Tom and Jerry comes out in theaters next week. Oh, right. Actually, The Croods might be done.
If Tom and Jerry does well.
Because, well, Tom and Jerry is also a kids movie.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think parents just want something new. You love the pink hair pixie? Thank you. I think that that might be a problem. Tom and Jerry. I really want the Croods 2 to make more money in America, in North America than Tenet. It won't worldwide. Tenet did well worldwide, but I really want Croods 2 to beat Tenet just for no reason. I haven't seen Croods 2.
For fun.
Like, but I just want it to win this, and it's getting there. Also in the top 5, Judas and the Black Messiah, which we need to see. I want to see that movie so bad. I love Daniel Kaluuya so much. Made just under $1 million. Wonder Woman 1984 made $800,000. Its domestic take is now at $42 million.
Okay.
Wonder Woman 1984 has made less than 20% of what the first one made. Which, it's pandemic. I'm not saying that's because of anything.
Still, though.
But, yeah. Very interesting. And number 5 is The Marksman with $775,000. Monster Hunter still making over $500,000 at 510. That's in number 6. Okay. Monster Hunter's total domestic haul is 13 million, which is not good for that movie. And Nomadland, the new movie, the highest new movie of the week, made $503,000, which is not great, but it's the pandemic. That movie is also available online, so what do you expect?
Yeah, it's not a surprise, I guess.
In, like, big money news, really, really big money news at the box office, China is crushing it. It is the Lunar New Year in China right now.
Right.
Which is the big time of year when the Chinese box office spends buco bucks. And this year, there is a really interesting phenomenon going on. Hi Mom, the Chinese comedy we talked about last week, and Detective Chinatown 3, the movie that had the biggest opening in a single market ahead of Avengers Endgame 2 weeks ago, I think now. Or was that last week? Last week. They both crossed $600 million at the same time. So Hi Mom is at $619 million, I think, and Detective Chinatown 3 is at 600. This is crazy. 10 days into release, Hi Mom is at $619.4 million. And Hi Mom is. And then Detective Chinatown 3 is at $619.2 million. So they are neck and neck right now.
Oh, boy.
It does look like Hi Mom is overtaking Detective Chinatown 3, as Detective Chinatown 3 had a much bigger opening weekend. Yeah. But Hi Mom has been doing much better in the day-to-day since. Mm-hmm. And the movie is really... Hi Mom is really being cheered for being a comedy. It's doing well. They're both very nationalistic movies. Nationalistic Chinese films do very well in the new Lunar New Year.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it is insane to see 2 films in 10 days make 600 million each. That has never happened before in a single market. That has never happened before.
That is big news.
Yeah. I can't think of 2 movies being released on the same day doing that well, except the only 2 movies I can think doing that well, but it was not this quick, was when Star Wars The Last Jedi? Or was it Star Wars Force Awakens? When Star Wars The Force Awakens, I think, and Jumanji 2 released on the same day. Mm. And Jumanji 2 went on to gross like $700 million. Mm-hmm. And Force Awakens, forget about it.
Crushed it.
Pix in the chat asks if that's a Lord of the Rings tattoo on my arm. It is. That is a little Tangwar, a little elvish reminder of a very important time in my life. Yeah. That's the news.
That's the news.
I want to watch these Detective Chinatown movies out of China.
Yeah.
I want to see them. They're huge hits. I want to know why.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can find them online somewhere. Legally. China, I'm not going to steal from you. I promise. We're going to find a legal place. Because usually these big, I don't know. If movies do this well in China, they usually get released somewhere in the States. Right. Wandering Earths was on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if Netflix has the Detective Chinatown movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious. I like foreign movies a lot, and especially when I want to find out when they do really well, right?
Yeah.
To me, what that says is that that is a cultural thing that a lot of people in that culture think is like worth watching. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, I want to see it because I want to understand. I want to experience what it is about their culture that they appreciate about themselves.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very curious.
Yeah.
Any last words today, Claus, for the show?
No.
No? All right.
No, that was a good show.
This was a good show. This was fun.
Yeah.
We got into it a little bit.
Yeah,
it got a little bit more serious than I expected.
It happens.
A worthwhile topic, I think.
I think so. I think it's definitely a worthwhile topic, and yeah, this is what we do on the morning show.
It is.
Sometimes get into the nitty-gritty.
Sometimes we do. But this is, I was about to say this is the last Monday morning show, but that's not true. This show will be back next Monday. It's going to be back all week this week. But for those of you who aren't aware yet, we've been saying a lot, but this is the last week where we're doing 5 days a week. Starting next Monday, we'll be doing one weekly show talking about all the biggest news of the week, and we're gonna have a little bit more complicated show. We're gonna have some graphics. The goal is to have some lower thirds. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we are. But until then, I'm gonna say. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
You're gonna say...
Should we plug anything? Follow us on social media. I don't know.
Yeah, do the thing. You guys know.
Twitch.tv/nerdynightly, Twitch.tv/
Claus Drakaris.
And as always, my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Claruth.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye, guys.
Bye.